All right, so what a great story about Andy Boy, and Margaret is a wonderful, wonderful person. And look at what we packed together. Aren't they great? I tease, they look like wedding bouquets. But I figured we better bring them to Tim because you're gonna cook with them.
That's right.
How about that? All right, so the next recipe I'm excited to get started with. Tell me what we're doing.
So here we're doing broccoli rabe stir fry with some oyster sauce, some tofu, and then some shiitake mushrooms and some garlic. And this here is a lily bulb. It's in the garlic family. It's a little milder than garlic.
Tofu, we're going to talk about that. But what's so great about broccoli rabe too is that it has nothing to do with broccoli, as you heard. Nothing at all to do with broccoli. It's more like a mustard green, so it really works well in a stir fry.
Right,
It's really perfect. We're going to use tofu, and I always want to ask this question. Extra firm, and I know there's a silken or a medium also. But I chose these two to ask you a couple of questions about. What type of firmness is this tofu?
The one we're using here is firm tofu.
Okay, so it's this one.
Usually we like to drain it overnight and with a towel or paper towel so that we get a lot of the moisture out, because when we marinate it or when we cook it up, we want it to absorb all the flavors of the cooking liquids or our marinade.
Let's talk then about the extra firm. What would you use this for?
Extra firm is nice if you want to deep fry. The tofu has a very meaty texture, and it holds its form very well. This is a great application for the soft or the medium.
The medium tofu. Okay, so I'm glad that we're using it here today. And remember that tofu picks up any of the spice that you're putting with it. That's the absorption, so that's why you want it like this.
Right.
All right, let's get busy. Let's start cooking.
All right, so let's start marinating the tofu first. Here I have some vegetarian oyster sauce. It's made out of actually shiitake mushrooms production.
Okay.
But oyster sauce will do just fine.
Okay.
Then we'll put a little bit of garlic in here. And then we'll just let this marinate a little bit.
Just like that.
We blanched our broccoli rabe just because when you blanch it, it leaches out a little bit of the bitterness.
Right, but it also leaves it this beautiful green color. Yeah, I love that.
So we'll get the pan warm here. And then we'll add a little bit of oil.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and add some shiitake mushrooms. We want to get a nice kind of brown on the edges of the mushrooms. And then we'll add some garlic. The garlic will also help flavor the oil.
A special pan to do stir fry. Be a myth buster. Do we have to use one?
Ideally, it'd be nice.
It's gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Really?
We're gonna use the wok for our next recipe.
Okay.
But for this application, just wanted to show that you could do a stir fry or saute with the rabe. If you didn't have a wok, then it would turn out just as nice.
Perfect.
We're gonna mix some chicken stock with a little bit more of the oyster sauce.
Okay.
Oyster sauce.
Okay, I love to use. A lot of folks don't know how to cook with oyster sauce. It's a little bit thick, but I see that you're probably going to thin it a bit.
Right, we thin it out with a little bit of chicken stock.
Okay.
This is the perfect time. If you were able to find some lily bulbs, we're going to add some in at this.
Let me smell. I want to smell this. It smells like a cross between a celery and a garlic clove.
Right.
What if I were to taste it raw?
Yeah.
What would it taste like? Oh my God, that's yummy. I don't even know how to describe that, but it's not even real strong.
It's almost pear-like.
It is almost pear-like.
Texture and a little bit of sweetness.
Boy, you could deep fry those and eat those like chips. Oh, those are good.
The mushrooms are starting to brown on the edges.
Yes.
A little bit. This would be a good time to add our blanched broccoli rabe. And so we'll go add a little bit of sauce here. Give it a quick stir.
Wow, look at that. I mean, seriously, stir fry is so easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The oyster sauce is already a very salty sauce, so we don't need to add salt.
Okay, good to know. Right. Now, what are we doing with the tofu? Oh, it's
the tofu, yes. Thanks for reminding me.
I was going to say, wait a minute, that's got to go somewhere, or I would have eaten it already.
Got to add the tofu,
right in.
right into the mixture.
Great. Let's plate that up. Oh, that looks so good.
Put the rabe down first.
What a great, easy recipe.
And then you can top it with some of the tofu. Shiitake mushrooms.
Look at that.
Sauce.
All right, I've got to let it cool down a little bit before I taste it, but I'm going to taste it right now, and I want you to take a look at what we did a little bit earlier. Oh my gosh, Tim, this looks fantastic. Oh, it's seasoned perfectly. Oh my God, that's delicious.